I've just gone through every single game this NFL season for every single team and predicted it. That basically means that I have, yes, predicted 272 games over 18 weeks to get to this. And I guess let's just go generally through divisions. Why not? Starting in the AFC. Now, I don't think that this will be an incredibly tight division. I think that the Ravens are going to pull ahead of it early. I could see the Bengals doing pretty well, but they have a lot of issues going on. But I still think that they are going to make the playoffs with 10 wins. But I do think that the Ravens are going to get the number 1 seed in the AFC. Now, obviously, I just kind of predicted this on Playoff Predictor, and then it just gave me the playoffs. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they were even the 3 seed. Yeah, 13-4 for the Ravens, 10-7 for the Bengals. Those are the 2 playoff teams there. Steelers, I do think that this will finally be Mike Tomlin's first ever losing season with the Steelers at 7 wins. I could see them getting 8. They could get 9. Mike Tomlin is crazy like that, but they're just not as good as they were. The defense is still very good, but their offense is, like, it's bad. I mean, they've only done terrible things to it this offseason, so I really do not see Will Howard taking this team to the playoffs at all. And obviously the Browns, I see them getting 5 wins. I believe it is an improvement. I think that there's a lot of room for them to potentially make a run. They have a lot of quarterbacks that can do a lot of crazy stuff. This is a big wild card. I don't think they are going to, but they still have guys like Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku. They have some great offensive linemen, a pretty good defense. But they did not win a lot of games last year, and I don't think it'll be changing. But again, this is a team that could do absolutely anything. Maximum, probably wild card. But also they could get the number 1 overall pick. They could do anything, but 5 wins seems probably seems like a good decision. Then for the East, we have the Buffalo Bills pretty easily pulling away with this one. The number 2 seed, 13 wins. I think this one is completely fair. I don't really see, unless if Josh Allen literally dies, I don't see this team managing to lose this division. I don't think the Dolphins are going to be good enough. I think they've had a lot of chances to prove people wrong, or just to prove people right, because a lot of people have had a lot of faith in them. I don't think it's happening. I do not think the Dolphins are going to make the playoffs again. They could, but they did not have a great offseason, and I don't think much is going to be changing. The Jets, I mean, they have a ton of talent. Justin Fields could do really well, and if this was this exact same team, just a different franchise, I might even have them making the playoffs, but it's the Jets, so will they? I don't know. But again, this team has a very high ceiling, but also a pretty low floor. They could go anywhere, so I'd put them right in the middle at 7 wins. And the Patriots, 6 wins. I think they're heading in the right direction. I think they're going to be a very fun team. This team could totally win 8 games. And they could make the playoffs. I don't think they will, because they're not great. They made a ton of improvements. I think they're going to be fun. But 6 wins, probably accurate, but who knows. Then for what I probably would have is the most competitive division, potentially, besides the NFC North, but the AFC West. We got the Kansas City Chiefs, 12 wins. They play a tough schedule. I do have them losing 5 games, but they could, as long as they get 8 wins and make the playoffs, they are going to be Super Bowl favorites, in my opinion. But I still think that they are going to win 12 games. They didn't have the best offseason, but they still did what they needed to stay afloat as one of the best teams in the league. Then the Chargers, I think they are going to make the playoffs at 10 wins. And also, I think that the Broncos are also going to make the playoffs. I put them at 9 wins, and that was able to sneak them into the playoffs. 2 good young teams with good young quarterbacks. I think they should do well. I would not be surprised if either of them didn't make the playoffs, but both of them did last year, and I'm expecting the same here. I think it'll be really competitive. And then the Raiders at 7 wins. They could make the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised. They have a brand new offense. They just have a lot of holes everywhere. But I think they are going in the right direction with G&T, Geno, and Pete Carroll. But I think 7 wins for the Raiders is probably accurate. I think they'll be fun, though. I think they will be a fun team. And then finally, for the AFC, the South. This will be a bad division, as per usual. And then the Texans, 10 wins. They could get 11, they could get 12, they could get 9. But I do not think that they're going to be doing too well. I have them at 10-7, the 4th seed. They could do well, but like, I don't know. It was disappointing sophomore season for CJ, and I feel like it's going to be improvement, but it's not going to be like back to his rookie season, right? So I don't know. And then after that, we have the Colts at 7 wins. They could get 8. I think 8 wins is probably their maximum. They have a lot of holes. Their defense is a lot better, but their offense is just not. I don't know. I don't like their offense at all at this point, besides Jonathan Taylor. But yeah, it'll be a tough season for the Colts, I think. Then the 2 5-win teams, the Jags and the Titans, 2 best rookies that were drafted that high. But I don't think either of them are going to make too much of an impact on their team. Cam Ward getting thrown into a tough situation and probably is going to start. Not expecting him to be good at all. Like, of course, he might be the most talented quarterback in this draft class. Does not mean he's going to be good now on a terrible team. He went to the worst team, and he's supposed to carry him, and I don't think it's going to be happening. It'll be a tough situation for Cam Ward. I hope he does well, but I do not think that he's going to, because he does not have a lot to work with. But 2 teams that should be good soon, maybe. Jaguars could be a little bit better. I could see them doing well, but they just have not proven that. And especially they got a coordinator as their head coach. They're probably not going to be doing too well. But yeah, 5 wins for both of them. That's the NFC. We got the Detroit Lions in the North with 14 wins, the number 1 seed. Yeah, just run it back. They did, I'd say, get slightly worse, but they're still very, very talented. I don't think it's going to really matter. 14 wins for them. Then I got the Packers at 10 wins. They're going to be the 6th seed. I think I don't know. They're weird. They're just so inconsistent that 10 wins probably makes sense with how talented they are. But, like, I don't think they're going to be making any noise throughout the playoffs, regular season, or anything like that. They're just going to be cruising to the playoffs and then losing in the wild card or divisional. I think that's pretty much it. Then the Bears. I do have them ahead of the Vikings, 1 win ahead at 8 and 9. I think they made massive improvements. I really like Caleb Williams. I think they're going to be good. I really do think that they're going to be good. Maybe not immediately, but I am expecting 8 wins. I think that would be great for the Bears to get 8 wins now. And the Vikings, 7 wins. They're not good. Sam Darnold carried them so hard. They have good talent, but they have an incredibly unproven rookie that has barely had any time to develop because of an injury. I've said this a billion times on my channel. People keep disagreeing with me. I don't think this team is making the playoffs. I don't think they're even getting 9 wins. Vikings at 7-10. Done. I'm not talking anymore. Now, for the Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles. 2nd seed, 14 wins. I believe I did have them losing to the Lions because we have a tough schedule, but I still think we're getting 14 wins out there. I could see 13 because, again, it is really tough, but we're better than all the teams that we play, but we play a lot of good teams, so I think we could lose to the Lions. We could lose it to a ton of good teams, but I feel very confident, and I honestly, this is going to be one of my favorite seasons as long as we're not terrible. This will be such a fun season. But I do have us as 14-win 2nd seeds. Then the Commanders at 10 wins. I think it'll be the same exact thing with C.J. Stroud. You know, Jane Dale's incredible rookie year. He's not going to do as well, still make the playoffs, and then probably could be out in the 1st round or maybe even 2nd round. I think they got better, but again, this was a carbon copy of what the Texans did last season. Got a new receiver, got offensive line. You know, Stephon Diggs, Deebo Samuel. Like, it's the same thing. And I think will be the same exact result. I mean, he was really good. Jayden Daniels was really good, and he could do the same thing, but I think we have to start expecting these rookie quarterbacks to, you know, not do as well their 2nd season. That's just, I mean, I don't know. They could go anywhere. I think minimum 9 wins probably because they are a good team. But yeah, I think 10 wins for the Commanders at the 5 seed. Cowboys, 9 wins. They're just not great. They could make the playoffs, but like, again, obviously they're not doing anything in the playoffs. So like, I don't know. They didn't do anything like too much in free agency or anything like that. I think George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb's not going to be overrated, but I think George Pickens will be incredibly overrated. Dak is probably going to get hurt at some point, and yeah, 9 wins. It's probably likely. I think it's a little bit of a hedge for me. I could see them getting 11 if Dak is healthy the whole season, and George Pickens is not a Steelers receiver anymore, which is impossible. But I could also see them getting 5 wins, because if Dak is hurt and then George Pickens is George Pickens, they could lose a lot. But they still have a lot of talent. 9 wins makes sense. Giants now 4 wins. They're making improvements, but they're not good. I could see 5 wins for them, but they're just not a good football team. Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, just, dear God, do not start Jackson Dart no matter what. I don't care if Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston are hurt. Put in Tommy DeVito. Do not put in Jackson Dart with this terrible team. Wait at least another year, okay? Like, I swear to God, it would be disaster if Jackson Dart is playing this season. But Giants still not a good team. Didn't make too many improvements. 4 wins for them. Rams, 11 wins. I think it makes sense. I could see 12. I could see 9. They're somewhere around there. I think they're still a good team. 49ers, they're interesting. Obviously, a lot of injuries. Lost a ton of players. Probably the worst offseason, this entire offseason of any team by far. But I see 9 wins. I see them tying with the Seattle Seahawks. I think the Seahawks could totally win 11 games. Again, I really like Sam Darnold. I think that it's just interesting because it's a brand new offense. It's totally possible that the Seahawks could flop because everything is new there. You just don't know what's going to happen. Cooper Kupp, everything like that. I think they're going to be good, though. I think the Seahawks are going to be fighting with the Niners for a playoff spot. And I'm really hoping that Week 18 game between both of them is going to be absolutely incredible. And right now I have it deciding a playoff appearance, so I think it'll be really fun. These two are just going to be fighting for behind the Rams, in my opinion. Then the Cardinals, I like where they're going. Again, I think they could also be fighting for a playoff spot, but I just don't think that they could keep up. I don't think Kyler's keeping up with Purdy and Darnold. I just don't think it's happening. But you never know. 7 wins for the Cardinals. Then for probably, the South are just terrible this season. It'll be the Buccaneers and the Panthers fighting for that division crown. I don't like the Buccaneers this season. I really don't. I don't know what it is. I could see 10, maybe 11 wins if we're really stretching it. But I think I got them at 9 wins. And then the Panthers at 8. I really like what they're doing. I think they're improving. I really like Bryce Young. I think they're going to be surprising people. I think they're going to get 8 wins. And potentially, if they get a little bit lucky, if the Buccaneers accidentally lose a couple games, if they beat the Buccaneers, Panthers could be in the playoffs. I would not be surprised. Then the 2 terrible teams, including the worst team this season, the Falcons at 5 wins. They had a terrible offseason. Michael Penix, I don't think he's going to be great with not the best team. He has some weapons. I really like obviously Bijan, Pitts, and Drake London, but they're not great. And then the Saints, I think, will be the worst team this season. 3 wins, potentially generous. I think that makes sense, though. But yeah, these are my playoffs based off of all of my game predictions. I'll quickly go through it. We got Bengals, Texans. I think Bengals are probably taking that. 2 10-win teams. I think the Bengals are just better, though. Chiefs, Chargers. I like the Chiefs more, obviously. And then Broncos, Bills. Rematch of last year. I think it'll be the same result. Buccaneers, Commanders. 2 very mid teams playing. And again, I think it will be Jaden Daniels pulling it out. I think they're just a better team overall. I think they made better improvements. But I don't think the Commanders are getting past that. I think then the Rams, Packers. Oh, that'll be a good one. Let me just quickly put the Eagles over the Niners right there. Packers, Rams. I just think the Packers are too inconsistent. I could see them doing it, but I just think they're too inconsistent. I'll take Rams there. Then we got Bills, Chiefs. I think if Bills are hosting, I think this will be a slight bit of a down year for Mahomes and the dynasty. I'm picking the Bills. Then an incredible divisional matchup between the Bengals and the Ravens. I would probably pick the Ravens there. I just don't think the Bengals are even really as close to as good. Then we got another divisional rematch. This is the exact same playoffs. I don't know really how this happened. I think that I think it'll be the same here. Rams, I just don't think they're as good as the Eagles still. And I think the Commanders will be worse. Then we got the Bills and the Ravens. This will be a tough one. This would be a very tough one. I think, first of all, I don't know, man. You just can't choose at this point in the season. Obviously, you don't know. I'm taking the Bills. I think I like the Bills over the Ravens. I think the Ravens are much more of actual playoff chokers, and the Bills just lose to Mahomes. Then over here, Lions, Eagles. I mean, again, this is another one. You just do not know. Cheering, and I would hope to God that we would win, but I guess I'll just take Lions for the funsies. And then here, if I think that this would happen, I would think the Bills would win. Honestly, I really do. So I have the Bills winning, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I can't wait to see all of the disagreements in the comments. Thank you for all the love on all of the videos recently. I've been growing fast. That's been awesome. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. See ya.